Well, Amir, we just heard from Sky Sports News. Apparently, Ricky Hatton is going to announce his retirement on Tuesday. We just heard. What do you think about that?
I think it's a good move he's making, you know, because he's made his money. He's made a name for himself, and I think he just should retire now because, you know, he's at that age as well where he's going to start going downhill. There's no point in coming back and.
Why do all boxers retire then have another go?
It happens a lot to a lot of fighters. You know, with boxing, it's addiction. It's that addiction that you have. Like you know, when you're training and you're working hard towards a fight, you think, oh, what am I doing in this sport? But then after you win a fight, you think, I want to do it again. So it's just a mad addiction.
But interestingly about Ricky, I just heard on the radio today because he was back in training, and then he just left the training camp to go on a stag weekend in Tenerife with his mates. And that's probably when he said, "I'm enough."
So if I forget that.
Would you have fought if he said, "I'm coming back and I want to fight Amir"? Would you?
Yeah, I think the fight would be made then. Yeah, no, because Ricky's with Golden Boy Promotions as well, isn't he? So I think the fight would be made quite easily.
You'd make billions.
Billions? It'll be a massive fight in the UK. I think the British public would love to see that fight.
No, I'd hate it because I wouldn't know who to support because I like you both.
He's a nice lad, Ricky. He's a good mate of mine as well, and sometimes you don't want to step in the ring with your friend. But
sometimes.
Sometimes. I've got a few friends who have to sometimes knock out, but sometimes. But I think, you know, I can go on a different route and fight other big names, and I don't have to fight Ricky, you know. But I really think he should retire. You know, he's had his best days. He's made his money, and.
But it must be hard if you've thrown your whole life into something.
Yeah, football.
And, you know, and all sportsmen.
A lot of people very still wants to play now, and for footballers. But when I got to the stage where I knew it was time to finish, because I always felt that if I could put the work in and the training in, I'd still want to play. But a lot of people still want to play or still want to fight, but they're not prepared to put the work in. And if you're not prepared, particularly in boxing, if you're not prepared to put the work in, you can't still want to fight.
In boxing, you're on your own, aren't you? And he's gonna, you know, if you're not going to put the work in the gym, you're not going to train hard. And if you are in training, then you're going to sneak off on a holiday. You're going to only affect your own body, and I think really he should just call it a day and make his mind up. And
yeah, it's not like football. You can be old and good and just surround yourself with lots of young people.
Yes.
If you're old and boxer, you're just going to get done.
Well, you know, I'm not saying he's not still got it in him. I think he can still go it in him. You know, I think he can still come back and, you know, win a few good fights and, you know, maybe be a contender for a world title. But I just think that, you know, he should just retire now and call it a day.
Yeah.
Cheers, boys. Right.
Stop it.
Boxer or Alsatian?
Boxer.
Sheds or...
We're going to chat about Bolton now. You're a Bolton fan, Amir. 14th, 5 points off the bottom. You didn't have to get smashed up by Sunderland in midweek.
No, 4-0. What happened there, man?
What do you make of your season then?
Hope we don't get relegated, first of all. That's the main thing. I feel sorry for Owen Coyle. You know, I think he's come and yet to pick the pieces up when Megson left. And it is quite hard for him, you know, because the team's there. I don't think Bolton has enough money where they can buy any more players. But, you know, as long as we stay up, I think that's the main thing.
Fans are digging you. We had Bolton fans on last week in the Luther Blissett, and they're totally digging Owen Coyle. They're digging the manager. So
no, I think Owen Coyle's a nice guy. You know, I met him. I went to see the players about a week ago. I went with my belt, and I had a chat with the team. And I said to them, look, guys, I go, you win some, you lose some. It's like myself, you know, I suffered a defeat, and I come back from that and become a world champion. You guys can do the same, you know, you win some, you lose some. So I'm sure that, you know, motivated them, and today we got Wigan, so hopefully we got a local derby, so hopefully we can get a good win and get some points.
Is it kind of frustrating supporting a team that their sole goal is to survive? Really, surviving is a great season, so every year you kind of start the season, played 1-0, and you're just thinking, I just want to survive, we're not really going to win anything.
Yeah, it is tough for them because there's no motivation there really, if you think about it, you know what I mean? And if you think about it, they keep changing managers, and then the whole team, staff changes. And I know how that is, because if you're going to change boxing coach and go to another boxing coach, it is tough on the players. You know, so that makes a massive difference.
You've changed coach, I mean, Freddie Roach now.
That's right, yeah, I've changed.
What's that like? Because, you know, he's a legend in the sport.
Oh, he's brilliant. Known as one of the best trainers in the world. And, you know, he has so much respect for me. And I have to say, for how big he is in the States and even around the world, he's so down to earth, and he loves just training. He spends 10 hours in the gym every day. You know, just wakes up in the morning, goes to the gym, and locks up and goes back home. It's just amazing, you know, somebody who can do that, and he's a massive name.
Has he brought anything to your training that you've never heard of before, never seen before, never done before, or is it all the same stuff, just his way? Different.
We do a lot of stuff different. You know, we do one thing which is quite funny is getting a wooden stick and banging it on your forearms. Bang, bang, bang.
How big a stick?
The stick's quite big, and you got the trainer, another trainer, just hitting them on your forearms, and that strengthens your forearm. You know, when you're taking shots.
Strengthen or hurt?
It hurts, yeah, it hurts as well, but it strengthens them. That's what they say. No, that's what they say.
They're not having you on.
No, but if you look at Thai boxers in Thailand, they train by kicking trees, and they don't cut them. They kick the trees to strengthen their legs,
the bones and stuff. Yeah, but I seen Manny Pacquiao. Manny was getting it done one time. I walked in, I thought, what the hell is he doing?
So I'm not fighting him.
Right, this guy's mad, isn't he? And then they had me doing it the week
How
after.
long do they do it? They say, right, Amir, well, it's, you know...
About a minute on each arm.
A minute on each arm. Hitting today.
Oh.
Bang.
A minute on each arm.
A minute on each arm.
But not too hard, you know what I mean? It gets harder as time goes on.
Right.
Glad I'm not a boxer. But we've learned something.
Yeah,
Does he have a carrot as well?
No, nothing like that, just a stick. Just a stick.
All right, thanks very much. Amir
Cheers,
Khan.
Amir.
Cheers. Good luck with your fight. May the 15th.
May the 15th.
In New York.
New York, Madison Square Gardens.
Madison Square Gardens.
Cool. Good luck, Amir. Eat him up. Right, time to get us...
You're having a kick as well. Mr. Amir Khan! Have you ever done this before? Have you done it? Have you done it the previous times you've been here?
Yeah, I've done it once, but I got it down there somewhere.
Okay, one stall, one stall over the place.
Looking for the ball.
Away you go.
Oh, Amir!